Welcome to another video. I am the Starman and I am here in a very sunny Lytham St Annes in Lancashire, just down the road from where I live in Blackpool, and it's the 28th of December and I am expecting the last full moonrise of 2020 tonight. Yeah, so I've come down here to Lytham to hopefully capture the full moon as it rises low in the sky. It's going to be in about an hour's time or so. I'm quite early at the moment, but I need to be early because I want to set up, you see. So it's the last moonrise of the year. Now, funny enough, the full moon straddles 2 days pretty much. It's going to be pretty much full again tomorrow as well, so it's kind of full in between the 2 days, so we've got two chances. But tomorrow, unfortunately, it's going to be cloudy, so I've come out today and I'm hopefully going to get the moonrise today. And I want to show you in this video how you can capture a really nice moonrise and capture it with a landmark or a landscape, and I'll show you all the settings and all the planning that I do to capture it. Okay, so I'm just showing you some footage now that I shot yesterday, because I came here yesterday and this has all been redone. It's got a new sea walk. Look how busy it is, so many people around. And part of the reason why I came yesterday was because I knew that I would get a better shot today because the moon would be more full than it was yesterday. And I also needed to check out the terrain, you know, to check roughly where I would need to be. So coming here yesterday was a good practice run for today, because it gives me a good idea where I need to go and all that sort of thing. And I'm just going to show you a picture that I took yesterday, and it's actually a pretty good picture considering this was only a practice shot. This is the photograph I got yesterday, and this is the kind of photograph that I have in mind for today. I want to try and capture the moon with this building here called the White Church. Really nice building it is. I think it's made out of Italian marble, and it's one of the most recognisable landmarks in this part of the world. And as you can see, I've got the moon there right behind the cross at the top, and I'm hoping to take quite a few shots, and maybe I'll try and take that one again. But the main difference is that tonight I'm hoping to make the moon look a little bit bigger by getting further away from the church. Yeah, so like I said there, the moon is going to rise a bit later tonight, and it's also going to be a bit fuller. And because it's going to be lower in the sky than when I captured that picture that I just showed you on the screen, it means I can get further away. And that means that the landmark, which in this case is the White Church over there behind me, is going to be smaller in relation to the moon. So hopefully I'll be able to make the moon look a little bit bigger in this photograph. That's the plan anyway. Okay, so I'm just showing you a screenshot now of one of the apps that I use to plan these shots of the moonrise. And this is the Photographer's Ephemeris app. And as you can see, there's a map on there, and there's a load of lines going all over the place. There's orange lines, and there's also 2 blue lines. Now, the ones that concern us are the 2 blue lines, because they represent where the moon rises and where the moon is at a particular time. If you can see the thick blue line that goes off to the right there, to the top, that's where the moon is going to rise. So what I need to do is I need to line that up roughly with the church, then anticipate where it's going to move after that as well, because remember, as it rises it's going to move. So that's why I've come out here. As you can see, if you can see on the map, that's roughly where I am. You can see the lake there to the left, and I'm pretty much where the marker is. Now I will need to move a little bit, you know. I'm not going to be in the exact place, you know. I will need to move, but there's plenty of place to move around. Yeah, so that app is a really good app for finding out your angles and where you need to be and all that, so it's really good. But another thing as well that's quite important is elevation of the moon. Now, I said that the moon's going to be a bit lower in the sky tonight than it was last night. The moon was around about, I think it's about 8 degrees up when I shot that photograph last night. Now, I want to get the shot tonight when it's only half as high up, about 4 degrees, 4 to 5 degrees at the most. And I want to show you how high 5 degrees is in the sky. I don't want it to be any higher than 5 degrees if I can help it, because if it's any higher, I need to go closer to the church to connect it with the church. So I want to give you an idea of how high 5 degrees is in the sky. Right, I hope you can see this. There's a White Church there in the distance. I'm quite a bit further away from it than I was yesterday, but I want to try and capture the moon as low as possible, and that means that I can get further away from the church and make the moon look much bigger. Hopefully I can get the whole of the top of the steeple inside the church. We'll have to wait and see, but I want to show you how much 5 degrees is. So if you put your arm out at arm's length like that, it's roughly 10 degrees from the horizon to the top of your hand. So if you put your palm out like that, it's 10 degrees. So imagine 5 degrees would be pretty much like 2 fingers. So if I put my 2 fingers down there, you can see that 5 degrees, well, in fact, the church is lower than 5 degrees, I think. Can you see? If you stretch your hand out, put 2 or 3 fingers roughly, it's about 5 degrees of sky. And that's the maximum kind of height that I want to capture the moon. I don't want to capture it any higher than that to get the maximum effect that I want. Right, so I'm just going to show you what I'm going to use to capture the photograph. So I've got this here, my main camera, which is a Nikon D850, 46 megapixel camera, so it's got quite a lot of detail. And I'm using a 70-200 lens, and I'm also using it with a 2x converter. This is a 2x converter here. I very rarely use it with a converter, to be honest, because I don't think the quality is all that good, but it will get me out to 400mm. If I zoom all the way out to 200, that will get me to 400mm. But I will stop it down. I will stop the lens down to, can you see there? I'm on f5.6. I'm going to stop it down to f9, because I think it will just sharpen it up a little bit, because using the teleconverter might just make some of the edges look a bit rough. It will sharpen it up, so that's what I'm going to do. I'm going to shoot at f9 with the teleconverter on. It'll just make it a little bit sharper, I think. Okay, so now that I've explained all that and I've gone through some of the settings and the planning, it's now time to wait for the moon to show up. There's a little bit of cloud over there at the moment. I hope that cloud moves out of the way, because I don't want any cloud in the shot. Anyway, we'll wait for the moon to come up and see if we can get this shot of the last moonrise of 2020, the last full moonrise. The last full moonrise that we can see, because tomorrow I think it's going to be too cloudy. So let's wait for the moon. Well, isn't this just typical? There is a dirty big cloud going right across the sky, right where the moon is going to be. We would be able to see the moon by now if it wasn't. Can you see that cloud over there? Look at that, right in the way of the moon. I know it's low down, but so's the moon, you see. That's going to block our view of the moon. And if that cloud doesn't move out of the way anytime soon, I'm not going to be able to do my long range photograph. I'm going to have to go closer to the church. But I'm just going to show you now on the screen. I'm just going to put an image of the church that I can see in my camera now on the screen. And as you can see, we've got the church there. And I'm just going to show you the photograph I took yesterday, the full photograph, before I cropped it, because I had to crop it, you see. And you'll see that there's chimneys, there's houses, there's a street light on there, and that was another disadvantage of shooting the church close up, because we get other things coming into the shot as well. But if you look on this shot that I've got now from back here, you can see quite a bit more of the church. In fact, you can see the 2 other little steeples it's got, towers. You can even see the dome of the main sort of church itself from back here, and the street lights and the chimneys of the houses are not so much of a factor from back here, because we're further away and we can see more of the church. So that's another advantage of shooting from further away. Look at that sunset, wow. And here's another thing, because we've got a full moon tonight, the moon is going to rise opposite the sun, right over there. Now, I was worried about that cloud, and it is moving along. It's about just after 3:30 now, and we've got till about probably 4 o'clock or so. By 4 o'clock the moon will get to about 4.5 degrees up, so 4 o'clock is pushing it for time. So I'm hoping that that this cloud will move yet. We'll just have to wait and see, but it is definitely moving across, which is good. I'll tell you what, I can't really feel any heat from the sun at the moment. Anyway, the cloud is moving along and there are some breaks, so I'm really hoping that we do get a chance to get the moon. The idea is to try and get it from back here. If that cloud does not move out of the way quick enough, I'm going to have to move up there so that I can capture the moon when it rises above that cloud. So the impact of the shot is not going to be quite what I wanted, you know, compared to yesterday, but hopefully we'll get a better shot than yesterday, and you'll be able to see the difference between shooting the landmark close up and shooting it further away, and how that affects how big the moon looks in the shot. Okay, so the sun has just gone behind a cloud before it's set, so we've lost the sunlight now. And I just want to talk about another effect as well, which I'm hoping to get tonight, which I couldn't see last night, and that's the belt of Venus. I've just put a link at the top of the screen for a video that I've done on the belt of Venus to explain it, but it's a pink band that forms across the sky opposite the sun at sunset, and you also get them at sunrise as well, opposite the sun. And the pink band that you see opposite the sky at sunset is caused by the sun shining through the atmosphere of the earth, and it creates this pink band, and underneath the pink band you get like a greyish bluish band as well, and that is the shadow of the earth. And I'm really hoping that we get to see that tonight, because that will be a real bonus. And anyway, can you see this cloud here as well? The cloud is moving away. Please move cloud. I can see the moon. I can actually see the moon. I can see the moon now. I can see the moon just starting to come up. Wow. Just as I was talking about the belt of Venus, I can see the moon just coming through the cloud there. Oh, I don't know if you can see it, but anyway, first sighting. Here we go. Yeah, so I've just spotted the moon now. It's just to this side of the church. I'm not sure if I'm pointing the right way, but it's just to the left of the church as I look at it here. I could just see it through that band of cloud. Now, it is possible that I might need to move forward, because if that cloud doesn't move out of the way quick enough, I might need to move forward so that I can get the moon above the cloud. But it is moving that way, and hopefully I will be able to get the shot from here. But let's see. Yes, I did it again. We got it. The clouds moved out of the way and I got the moonrise. Just check this out now. Oh, look at this. Look at that, and the belt of Venus as well. Can you see this pink sky? And look at the moon there. It's just rising above the church now. I had to take some pictures earlier on when it was a bit closer over there, and then I moved back because I wanted to give myself a chance to shoot it from further back, because I wasn't sure if I was going to be able to get it, but I did. Look at that. Doesn't that look absolutely epic? I'm just going to show you a video on the screen now, and you can see the beautiful pink sky, the belt of Venus, where the sun shines through the atmosphere, and it looks absolutely amazing. Yeah, so I hope you can see that now. Oh, that looks absolutely amazing. That's one of the best moonrises I've ever seen. Now, I've already got some shots in the bag, and I'll show them at the end of the video, but as the moon rises, I'm now going to have to move closer, but there's a slight problem there, in that as the moon rises up, you can see now it's quite bright. And what happens is, you have to make sure that the moon doesn't blow out. If you want to get detail on the moon, we're losing the balance now of the foreground and the moon. So what tends to happen is, when it gets too bright, the moon, too exposed to the foreground, you tend to blow out the moon. So I've already got some good pictures, which is great. But the problem is now, if I carry on shooting now, I'm not sure if I can get the church bright enough in the frame along with the moon without overexposing the moon. So that's a slight problem when the moon gets high up. We're pretty much on the limit now. Yes, it's 4:05, and I said that the maximum time will be 4 o'clock. So we're pretty much on the limit now, but that looks absolutely amazing. I'll show you a video on the screen now. It looks absolutely epic, I have to say. So I'm just showing you now some video on the screen. It looks absolutely amazing. Can you notice how the moon is getting really, really bright now? And I have to darken it down. But when I darken it down, we lose the foreground. So I don't know if you can see that, but I'm exposing for the moon here. I'm turning the exposure down a bit, but we're losing the church spire, can you see? And that's the thing, you see, there's a certain time where you can get the right balance of the two. Anyway, I think I did it tonight, and I'll show you the pictures at the end. Well, how about that? Absolutely amazing. Not sure if you can see it behind me, it's probably overexposed, but absolutely epic. I did it again! Yes! Reminds me of the time when I shot the moon over the beach huts last year. I don't know if you remember that video, that was absolutely epic. Anyway, I've got the shots in the bag. I'll show them at the end of the video. And I just want to turn the camera around again to show you. I just wanted to show you the belt of Venus, just in case you didn't see it before, but look at that beautiful pink sky. That's the Earth atmosphere, the sun shining through the Earth's atmosphere. And can you see underneath this grey, how it's grey underneath? Well, that's the shadow of the Earth, and that's rising. So the moon is currently in the Earth's atmosphere as the sun shines through the Earth's atmosphere. And the shadow, which you can see just above the buildings here, the greyish blue shadow, is going to rise, and that will bring on the night. So there you go. Perfect. So that's it then for the last full moonrise, or at least the last full moonrise that we'll see, owing to the weather tomorrow not too great, but absolutely amazing. How epic was that? Unbelievable. I'm so glad that that cloud moved out of the way, because I was really worried about that cloud, and I thought it was going to blow my chances. Anyway, I'll show the pictures at the end, and I hope I've given you some sort of tips on how to shoot the moon. I'll put the settings on as well, because the settings are fairly important. I didn't really go through the settings, did I? Another epic moonrise. I hope you liked the video, and if you do, hit the like button, and also hit subscribe and tick the bell for notifications of new videos, and I will see you again next time.